My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told. It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch. I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right.
Hi there, welcome back, and let me allocate that skill point we've been sitting on since last mission. Ah yes, by the numbers. That's a very overpowered skill. For every 6th count on the combo counter we get a full concentration bar, and we're getting this thing for free. An upgraded quick shooter with plus 30% damage and plus 25% aim speed. I think, yep, we've already switched to it right now.
They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
This doesn't seem safe at all. That, on the other hand, looks like the perfect hiding place for one of those nuggets. Yep. Alright, let's try and get through here alive. Ah, they actually give you a really decent amount of time to get through there. Ah, the sort of rifle. I'm not much of a fan of this thing. It's a rifle with 6 shots and much higher firing speed than the ordinary rifle, but it also surrenders some accuracy. But actually, let me try and use the sort of shotgun for a while.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that ridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
Alright, here goes.
Who's that son of a bitch?
From there, I had to to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
If you haven't noticed so far, you can also pretty much shoot any bird in the game. Chickens, those things, those little ones as well, I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's continue.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
It's a slightly suicidal playstyle, but it's very fun every once in a while. And now that we're using shotguns anyway, let's use the fast shotgun reload as well. I want to get that thing because I need to go over here anyway. But for this kind of range, this weapon is perfect anyway. All that blur on the screen makes it a bit difficult to see in which direction you need to dodge, though.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Let's also use the normal shotgun, why not? At least then I have something for a bit more range.
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Oh come on, I need to explode that barrel. It's one of the few barrels that has a weird time delay on there. Also, this thing is still standing. That's some rather good engineering. And the next nugget. Do I want something with range? Actually, yes. Does anyone here have an engraved ranger? Yes, thank you.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
Like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about. Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that?
He's out of his mind! Cut cover! Retreat! Retreat!
It's easy to ignore your surroundings because you're sort of railroaded, but they really put a lot of effort into the rest of this area as well.
He's killing everybody!
Oh yes, he is.
He'll kill us all! Run!
I'm gonna blow your...
Oh, I shouldn't forget to throw some dynamite. Oh well. You can't actually shoot through most bodies with pistols. I'm not sure whether shotguns shoot through guys, but rifles do.
My guess guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
And now it's time for the new skill to really start shining. Count by the numbers. I wish I had some more explosive barrels on screen. Makes it easier to keep the combo going. But still. This should be fine. Oh, there's another one.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nosed Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Some of these guys are really fidgety bastards that like to move around a lot.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Alright, that was a fast and fun mission. Actually, let's allocate these skill points right now, because otherwise I'll be sitting with them. Yes, Righteous Fire. That is a wonderful thing. We'll probably see that in action next time. And it'll also get us the Silver Shotgun, which, come on, more range, more damage and more spread. I'm not sure whether I want to spread, but it comes with it. And then also, yes, I'm going to get these sort of shotguns, because the next thing I want to get is probably this thing. Explosions are bigger, because why don't you want bigger explosions, eh? Alright, I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and have a great evening. I love this music.